All right, let's talk about RFI. If you're a wireless tech, you know the drill. It feels like a never-ending battle, right? We're always talking about the latest spectrum analyzer or the coolest new antenna, but what if I told you your most powerful tool isn't something you can buy? It's something you already have. Let's dive in.
So just so you know where all this is coming from, we're pulling from a super detailed report put together by the RFI detectives who are part of Virtualization Options LLC. This is actually part 16 of a massive 20-part series they've created. So yeah, we're getting into the real nitty-gritty today.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you straight up. What do you think is your most powerful RFI tool? I mean, really think about it. Is it that expensive analyzer in your kit? Some fancy software? Well, the answer we're digging into today, it might just surprise you. It's the one tool you've had all along, but you've got to keep it sharp.
To really get why this is so important, we have to look at the world we're working in. The modern RFI landscape, let me tell you, it is not getting any easier out there.
You know this better than anyone. Our wireless environments are just jam-packed. Think about the ISM bands, right? 2.4, 5 gigahertz. It's an absolute zoo of Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and a million different IoT gadgets all screaming for airtime. This makes our job of finding and fixing interference way harder than it used to be.
And that's where this idea of RFI management comes in. Look at that definition. The key word there is practice. It's not a box you buy off a shelf. It's an ongoing process. You identify, you diagnose, and you mitigate. And the engine that drives that whole process? It's expertise. It's you.
Which brings us right to the heart of it. Your most essential toolkit isn't made of plastic and metal. It's built from what you know and the skills you've developed. The report breaks it down into these 3 core skills. First, you've got to identify the source of the problem, and I mean with real precision. Then, you have to diagnose it, which means understanding what those squiggly lines on your screen are actually telling you. And finally, you mitigate the issue, which usually means using your knowledge of network design to fix it for good. Each step builds on the last, and it all relies on your skill. So, what does that look like in the real world? It's about more than just knowing how to turn on your spectrum analyzer. It's about truly understanding it. It's looking at a weird signal and instantly knowing, that's what that is. And it's having that deep well of knowledge to draw from so you can apply the right best practices, whether it's in the design phase or during configuration, to actually solve the root problem.
But here's the catch. Being great at what you do today isn't quite enough. The real name of the game is future-proofing your expertise, because this field, as you know, does not stand still. I mean, this is the absolute truth of our industry, isn't it? There are always new standards, new devices, new protocols coming down the pike. The interference problems we're going to be tackling in a couple of years, they'll be completely different from what we're seeing right now.
And this slide just nails the difference. You can have a static set of skills, and that's great for solving yesterday's problems, the stuff you've seen before. But if you embrace dynamic, continuous learning, that's what sets you up to master tomorrow's challenges, the ones nobody's even seen yet. It's all about staying ahead of that curve.
The report from RFI detectives just says it perfectly. Continuous professional development ensures the team remains proficient in handling evolving challenges. It's not about one training class you took 3 years ago. It's a career-long commitment to getting better and adapting as the technology itself evolves.
So, we'll end on this thought. Your knowledge, that's your most powerful tool. It is more precise than any antenna you can buy, and it's way more adaptable than any piece of software. So the real question isn't what new gadget you're going to get, it's what new skill you're going to build. What will you learn next?